Hi, I am Jesse. I am American Heart Association CPR certified in resuscitation and chest compressions. Today I will be teaching you how to do chest compressions and breathing. Please come to our body.
Timmy, come to the body.
I'd rather not.
Okay, so the first step to chest compressions is proper hands. You're going to want to place your dominant hand down and your other hand on top of it. Grip it like this. There you go. This is proper adult or large child CPR. You'll want to place it in the middle of the chest. On an average body, your middle finger on your bottom hand should be pressing right around their nipple. Too high and you'll dislocate their sternum from their clavicle. Too low and you'll just break every single one of their ribs. Now, a chest compression should go approximately half to 2/3 of the way towards the floor. Between their chest and the floor, you want to go about halfway to 2/3, regardless of the age of the victim. Now,
What about the weight of the victim?
that's why it's a fraction of the distance, not a specific distance. Usually it is around, I believe, 1.5 inches, but I do not remember the exact number because that wasn't part of the test. Now, one thing you want to do is make sure that your knees are up against the side of the victim while pressing. You want to use your body as leverage to press down. The most important part of the actual compression is to make sure to press fully and let it recoil fully. If you don't, then you won't get blood to their brain, which is kind of the important part. Hello, small child. Would you like to learn CPR as well?
Continue teaching.
So, the proper ratio is 30 compressions to 2 breaths. There's a head here in my imagination. Once you do 30 compressions, you give 2 breaths. During those breaths, you'll want to grab their chin and the top of their head, tilt it back, and then breathe in, preferably with a resuscitation mask, but unfortunately I don't have mine with me, so I can't demonstrate, but those are pretty self-explanatory. They look like a face mask. You put them on, tilt.
Oh, is it that weird tube thing that
Yes.
keeps their mouth open? I've seen
It
those.
doesn't keep their mouth open, but that's a different thing that professional hospitals use to just make the job easier. Anyways, so 30 compressions to 2 breaths for adults and children. Babies are 30 compressions to 2 breaths on your own, and 15 compressions to 2 breaths with a partner. With babies, it's a lot different. When alone, your best bet's to use the 2-finger method and press, 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 rinse, repeat. Breathing's the same. Of course, you're going to want to use a lot less volume of your lungs, because, it's a baby.
You mean you don't want me to explode their lungs?
Just
Basically.
expand the baby.
Once you have a partner, you'll switch places, and whoever has just arrived at the scene, because we're going to assume that you just carry a bag mask or mask in general at your house. Why wouldn't you?
Just put it in my back pocket. It's fine.
Yeah. You'll switch to using it like this, and you'll use your thumbs placed over the center of their chest to press, while the other person gives their breath every 15 seconds. Now then, I would like you to attempt to demonstrate CPR as best as I have instructed you onto this. I will correct you as needed.
Do I have to breathe?
Fake breathe, yes.
Okay. Awesome. Timmy, I gotta get a hair tie if I'm gonna do this.
Good
Because
point.
otherwise
Go
you
grab it.
will not see anything.
Okay. Was it 30?
30 to 2. I recommend counting out loud.
What, 15 and then breathe?
No, 30 and then
then
breathe
2,
twice.
okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Lean over.
7,
You're using your waist as leverage. There you go.
12, 13,
Huh?
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26,
You want them to fully recoil.
28, 29, 30.
Okay. Now the only thing you need to work on is speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Grab chin, grab head, tilt back, You're the one who got in the way.
Shut over there like how dare you.
Return to compressions. By the end of this, you'll have to complete 2 full cycles, which is 30 and 2, 30 and 2. It's a pain in the butt, but you know,
Sorry, Monica. Let's go.
it's good to know CPR in case someone dies. Heart attack victims are very common. Well, technically they can be dead temporarily.
I learned CPR a long time ago at the YMCA.
Dude.
It was
Oh, if it was at the YMCA.
semi-lifeguard. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if you were a lifeguard, then yeah, you probably got properly trained.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It was a long time ago. We're losing him.
29, 30, and jeez, I almost fell.
You just fell on his face.
No, I
We're
didn't.
gonna count that as 2 breaths. Usually you don't want to be paused for any more than 6 seconds, as that's when you'll start losing progress, essentially. Because your main goal is to get blood pumping to the head,
Yeah.
which takes about 10 to 15 compressions.
Monica just passes out on the body. No, we need 2
this is-
CPR
This
people.
will, I will say this. The good news about CPR is that the breaths are not important until about the 10-minute mark in adults. 9 to 10 minutes, preferably by 9. Most places you will get medical support by then, unless you know you're on top of a mountain. And then you know, y'all better get a stretcher. Anyways,
Oh.
so the biggest things from both of you were your speed. 120 beats per minute is what you want to look for. You can go anywhere from about 100 to 130, I believe, or 110 to 130. But the general goal, of course, is the middle ground of that is 120. So go ahead and try to demonstrate 2 cycles.
Okay, that's just the full 30
30 breath, breath,
Okay.
30 breath, breath.
Okay.
I wish I had something to put like right here.
You want a box?
Yeah, that'll work. That way we have. That way we have at least a physical object.
This is the mouth.
Here's the chin.
Yeah.
Just tilt that up as you do it.
This is enough.
Yep.
And breathe on my soda. Timmy, don't harass my soda. Alright.
Lean forward a little bit. You want to have your chest
I'm
over.
going to fall.
You want to use your waist as leverage to get those hard pushes in.
Jesse,
This is a lot easier.
I am not a stable person.
That's fair.
This is it, like, cause it's like I had to be in the center.
You do.
So
You
if I
might need
lean,
to scoot back just a pinch.
okay,
Because you want your shoulders basically leveled over your hands.
okay, like that.
And then you want to use your whole weight of your body.
Yeah.
Because imagine if you were doing it to, say, an offensive, what?
Hurts my booty.
Yeah, it will. Imagine you're doing this to an offensive lineman from the Atlanta Falcons. Dude's huge. You're going to need a lot of power to
Just fucking
compress him.
freaking stand when I do it.
From the Atlanta Falcons, he has a medical team.
Alright, listen. I'm saying, like, if you randomly came across him at Walmart, don't ask me why he's all the way here at Walmart, but yeah.
Visiting family.
Yeah. Let it recoil a little more. Perfect.
Hurt my butt.
Other than like the slight tumble there, we're not blaming that on you being a small person and this being a large person. This is a very large dummy.
If this were a real person,
You'd have a much better time, namely because it would be thinner. Because on average, a person this big is like the size of a defensive lineman. Sir, I need you to stop messing with my toe while I'm teaching the class. Thank you.
I would need a second person.
Yeah. Right. I mean, the goal is generally to have a second person, and you know, in a lot of situations, what'll happen is, you know, someone might be watching and going 32.
And then me
32.
being like, hey, you come here, breathe in his mouth when I say.
Honestly, your best bet would be to have them start doing the compressions. because that's the most tiring part of this. To do the test, you had to do 4 cycles. Timmy, your turn to do 2 cycles.
Okay.
We did the-
in you.
What?
I believe in you.
Good form. Count out loud.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Let it recoil a little more.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Perfect. Now then, small side notes for different victims. Say this was, instead of an adult that is large, this was actually a small child. You don't want to use both hands because you're more than likely going to just crush their entire chest with them.
Well, they didn't need it.
Best bet with that one is to use a single hand, and again, 2/3 to halfway down. And then with a baby, of course, you use the 2 fingers, and then the thumbs. Breathing remains the same for all of them, just change the volume of oxygen you put into them. The breathing is not important until about the 9 to 10 minute mark in adults. In kids, it's about 5 minutes. In babies, it's even shorter. With babies, you want to actually aim for about 120 to 140 beats per minute, because they have smaller bodies and need more blood, and smaller hearts. The only thing, your form's a little off, but you're also a small human, so it's a little more difficult for you to get it, and this is a larger dummy than I would like. The main reason why I wanted the pillow was because they're a lot thinner. But the biggest thing is when you're doing it, try to get your knees as close to the side of them as possible. Get your shoulders over. Plant. 1, 2, rinse, repeat at a much higher pace. With the breathing, obviously, grab the top of the head, grab the chin, tilt. Return. You never want to stop for more than 6 seconds. Once medical personnel arrive, they're probably going to just tell you, hey, we got this, you're good. You'll want to be able to give them a, hey, I've been doing it for about 5 minutes, we've been doing this, they passed out, this is what happened, that way they know what's up. After that, you're good to go. This has been CPR with Jesse.
Thanks, sir. Yeah.